ServSafe Practice Questions Chapters 115 Exam K. The humidity of the dry storage room should be between %____%. The humidity of the dry storage room should be between 50 to 60%. 22. In a small kitchen, all of the following items need to be stored in one refrigerator. Which should be stored on the bottom shelf? A. Hard-boiled eggs. B. Uncooked chicken legs. C. Whole salmon. D. An uncooked pork roast. B. Uncooked chicken legs. 39. The receiving temperature for shelled eggs is A. 45*F or below. B. 41*F or below. C. 38*F of below. D. 0*F or below. A. 45*F or below. What is the storage temperature of live clams? 41*F within 4 hours of receiving. Indicate if these situations are acceptable or not acceptable based on the rules of holding food without temperature control. Baked potatoes are being brought to the company picnic. They were cooking to the appropriate minimum internal temperature at 2 p.m. and then labeled to be served by 7 p.m. Not acceptable. 53. The temperature of rinse water in a warewashing machine that uses chemical sanitizing should be between A. 50 degrees Fahrenheit to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 68 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 90 degrees Fahrenheit to 150 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 175 degrees Fahrenheit to 212 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 68 degrees Fahrenheit to 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Water temp for chlorine 100 degree F or 75 degree F and iodine equals 68 degrees Fahrenheit. 8. Fresh fish should be rejected if A. It has a seaweed smell. B. The flesh is firm. C. The skin is dry. D. It is received at 41*F or lower. C. The skin is dry. Which of the following situations minimizes food contamination? A. A food handler sneezes into a tissue before handling food. B. A food handler uses metal tongs to place cooked beef onto a bun. C. A food handler uses hand lotion after washing her hands. D. A food handler drinks from a sanitary plastic cup while preparing food. B. A food handler uses metal tongs to place cooked beef onto a bun. 34. In the process of developing a hack plan for your establishment, you have just identified the potential hazards in the flow of food in your establishment and determined where food safety hazards are likely to be. What is the next step? A. Identifying corrective actions. B. Establishing critical limits. C. Determining critical control points. D. Establishing monitoring procedures. C. Determining critical control points. HACCP Principle Number 1 with brief explanation. Hazard analysis. Conducting a hazard analysis involves 3 steps. 1. Identify hazardous menu items. I.e. hamburger. 2. Determine flow of food. 3. Determine hazard. I.e. FBI from undercooked ground meat. 28. What should the internal temperature of raw meat, poultry and fish be when stored? A. 32 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. C. 45 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. D. 50 degree F or lower. B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit or lower. 15. An important prevention of ciguatera and scombroid intoxication is to A. Prevent cross-contamination. B. Practice good personal hygiene. C. Use a reputable vendor. D. Check all foods for the correct temperatures. C. Use a reputable vendor. Answer the following question regarding holding foods with time and temperature control. John checks the temperature of the shrimp salad at 2:30 p.m. and it was 40 degree F. At 6:45 p.m. he rechecks the temperature and it was 50 degree F. What should John do to the shrimp salad? Throw it out for more than 4 hours, which is not allowed under the rules of time temp control. What is the appropriate cooking temperature for eggs to be hot held on the steam table? 155 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. What is the receiving temperature of butter? 41*F. How long should shelf stock identification tags be kept on file? 90 days. 5. Hepatitis A and Norwalk viruses are most frequently introduced into food by a sick food handler who coughs on ready-to-eat food. B. Cross-contamination by raw poultry products. C. Time and temperature abuse. D. Food handlers who do not wash their hands before handling foods. D. Food handlers who do not wash their hands before handling foods. 12. The proper temperature for storerooms is between A. 32 degrees Fahrenheit and 41 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 38 degrees Fahrenheit and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 50 degree F and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 60 degree F and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 50 degree F and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the appropriate cooking temperature for pork roast? 145 degrees Fahrenheit for 4 minutes. 2. Daniel leaves the food preparation area to answer the phone in the office and to use the washroom. When should he remove his apron? A. When leaving the food preparation area. B. After he has taken his phone call. C. After using the washroom. D. At the end of his shift. A. When leaving the food preparation area. What is the receiving temperature of fresh pork chops? 41*F. 56. If you are using a 3-compartment sink for cleaning and sanitizing, the second sink is used for A. Scraping, B. Rinsing, C. Washing, D. Sanitizing. B. Rinsing. 21. When a shipment of food arrives, employees should A. Store it immediately and inspect it later, B. Inspect the potentially hazardous food, C. Inspect all food immediately before storing it, D. Stack the delivery neatly and inspect it within 12 hours. C. Inspect all food immediately before storing it. 49. When handling glassware, servers should A. Avoid touching the rim, B. Stack the glassware when serving, C. Put food plates on top of the glasses, D. Cover the top of the glass with their hands. A. Avoid touching the rim. 13. Tuna salad should be held on the buffet table at a maximum temperature of A. 45 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 0 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the receiving temperature of fresh beef? 41*F, air temp. 37. What is the minimum internal cooking temperature for stuffed pork chops? A. 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. B. 145 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. C. 155 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. D. 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. D. 165*F for 15 seconds. 14. Food should bat 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds within how many hours? A. 1B, 2C, 3D, 4. B. 2. What is the receiving temperature of hot beef barley soup? / 135*F. 6. Salmonella is commonly associated with which food? A. Undercooked ground beef. B. Shelled eggs. C. Canned foods. D. Cooked rice. B. Shelled eggs. What is the receiving temperature of live lobster? 45*F, air temp, versus internal temp of 50 degree F. 29. Which of the following items can be reserved to customers? A. Bowl of salsa. B. Basket of tortillas. C. Small dish of limes. D. Bottle of hot sauce. D. Bottle of hot sauce. What is the storage temperature of fresh chicken? 41*F. 27. In the process of developing a hack plan for your establishment, you have discovered the points in the flow of food that are essential to eliminate, reduce, or prevent a food safety hazard. What is the next step? A. Establishing critical limits. B. Conducting a hazard analysis. C. Establishing procedures for record keeping and documentation. D. Identifying corrective actions. A. Establishing critical limits. 50. A food handler should be excluded from a food service establishment if he or she has been diagnosed with which of the following? A. Hepatitis B, B, cancer C, tuberculosis D, salmonella. D. Salmonella. 32. Hack focuses on A. Identifying and preventing, eliminating, or reducing hazards throughout the flow of food. B. Verifying that food is fresh when it is delivered. C. Protecting meat from spoilage. D. Producing food in large quantities. A. Identifying and preventing, eliminating, or reducing hazards throughout the flow of food. 58. What should you do to ensure that the chemical sanitizer you are using on a food preparation surface is at the correct strength? A. When using the solution, rinse it from the surface and then apply it a second time. B. After using the solution, test the surface to confirm that no microorganisms are present. C. Use a test kit while preparing the solution to check its concentration. D. After preparing the solution, heat it to the temperature recommended by the manufacturer. C. Use a test kit while preparing the solution to check its concentration. What is the appropriate cooking temperature for cooked string beans to be hot held hot? 135 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. 19. Food handlers should wash their hands after which of the following activities? A. Clearing tables. B. Handling chemicals used for cleaning. C. Taking out trash. D. All of the above. D. All of the above. Indicate if these situations are acceptable or not acceptable based on the rules of holding food without temperature control. The chicken salad was taken out of the refrigerator at 10 a.m. and was discarded as per the label at 3 p.m., without ever going above 70 degree F. Yes, cold foods can be left out for 6 hours total. 42. Broccoli should be held on the steam table at or above A. 125 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 135 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 145 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 155 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 135 degrees Fahrenheit. What is the receiving temperature of shelled eggs? 45 F. Air temp. 46. What is the right way to measure the temperature of bulk liquids such as milk? A. Open the package and insert a thermometer. B. Insert the thermometer stem or probe between two packages. C. Check the temperature of the truck. D. Fold the bag around the thermometer stem or probe. D. Fold the bag around the thermometer stem or probe. What is the storage temperature of sliced melons? 41 F. 52. A handwashing station must provide all of the following, except A. Hot running water. B. Cold running water. C. Soap. D. A cloth towel. D. A cloth towel. What is the storage temperature of liquid eggs? 41 F. 48. What is the maximum amount of time that should pass before the internal temperature of food held in hot holding equipment is checked? A. 30 minutes. B. 1 hour. C. 2 hours. D. 4 hours. D. 4 hours. 7. An employee wore disposable gloves to form raw ground beef into patties. When she finished, she kept the gloves on while she sliced hamburger buns. Did she follow good food safety practice? A. No, she failed to wash her hands and change her gloves after handling the raw meat. B. No, she failed to wash her hands before putting the gloves back on to slice the buns. C. No, she failed to wash and sanitize her gloves before handling the buns. D. Yes, she followed good food safety practice. A. No, she failed to wash her hands and change her gloves after handling the raw meat. 9. Dry food should be stored A. in boxes that are packed tightly together. B. Out of sunlight. C. At temperatures between 41 degrees Fahrenheit and 50 degrees Fahrenheit. D. In boxes that are pushed next to the walls. B. Out of sunlight. Answer the following question regarding holding foods with time and temperature control. Jane randomly checks several temperatures on the holding table. At 4 p.m. she checked the temperature of the macaroni and cheese and it was 138 degrees Fahrenheit. At 6 p.m. she rechecked the temperature and the macaroni and cheese was 120 degrees Fahrenheit. What should Jane do to the mac and cheese? List all options. Reheat it to 165 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds and hold it at 135 degrees Fahrenheit or throw it out. USDA inspection checks for underscore 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 underscore, while USDA grading checks for underscore 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 underscore. USDA inspection checks for wholesomeness, while USDA grading checks for quality. 36. What is the minimum internal cooking temperature for a hamburger? A. 135 F for 15 seconds. B. 145 F for 15 seconds. C. 155 F for 15 seconds. D. 165 F for 15 seconds. C. 155 F for 15 seconds. 55. A USDA inspection stamp on meat indicates A. That the meat is free of pathogens. B. That the product and processing plant have been inspected. C. That the processor or packer has paid for the voluntary service. D. Its quality level. B. That the product and processing plant have been inspected. 26. All of the following are signs of a cockroach infestation, except A. A strong oily odor. B. Small black capsules. C. Black specks that look like black pepper. D. Dime-sized holes at the base of a wall. D. Dime-sized holes at the base of a wall. 16. Scombroid poisoning is commonly linked to which food? A. Mahi-mahi. B. Snapper. C. Oysters. D. Grouper. A. Mahi-mahi. 44. The main way to prevent Staphylococcus aureus is A. Proper hand washing. B. Preventing cross-contamination. C. Using a reputable supplier. D. All of the above. A. Proper hand washing. 31. Hash browns are served in a chafing dish which has its own heat source and an external dial thermometer. How can you ensure that the potatoes are safe to eat? A. Every 2 hours, measure the internal temperature of the potatoes with a thermometer. B. Every 2 hours, record the temperature reading from the chafing dish's external thermometer. C. Every hour, add fresh hot potatoes to the potatoes in the chafing dish. D. Every hour, turn up the heat on the chafing dish to 165 degrees Fahrenheit 74 degrees Celsius. A. Every 2 hours, measure the internal temperature of the potatoes with a thermometer. 57. Which of the following statements best defines the term sanitizing? A. Reducing microorganisms to safe levels. B. Chemical cleaning of food contact surfaces. C. Washing in very hot water with detergent. D. Heat sterilization. A. Reducing microorganisms to safe levels. 30. What is the right way to measure the temperature of meat, poultry, or fish when it is delivered? A. Insert the thermometer stem or probe between two packages. B. Place a probe on the surface of the food and wait 15 seconds. C. Insert the thermometer stem or probe into the thickest part of the product. D. Use the ice point method. C. Insert the thermometer stem or probe into the thickest part of the product. 23. What is minimum internal cooking temperature for a beef roast? A. 135 F for 15 seconds. B. 145 F for 15 seconds. C. 145 F for 4 minutes. D. 155 F for 15 seconds. C. 145 F for 4 minutes. What is the temperature of dry storage? 50-70 F. What is the storage temperature of ideal refrigerator temperature? 39 F, a few degrees below 41 F. What is the receiving temperature of frozen shrimp? Frozen solid, 0 F, but not specified. What is the appropriate cooking temperature for stuffed fish? 165 F for 15 seconds. 17. Which of the following statements is correct? A. Hand sanitizers can be used in place of hand washing. B. Disposable gloves can be used in place of hand washing. C. Food handlers must wait for hand sanitizer to before touching food. D. Food handlers can reuse gloves if they wash their hands between tasks. C. Food handlers must wait for hand sanitizer to before touching food. 1. A foodborne illness outbreak is defined as an incident in which _________ or more people experience the same illness after eating the same food. A. 1b, 2c, 3d, 4. B. 2. What is the appropriate cooking temperature for hamburger? 155 F for 15 seconds. 6.0. All of the following factors influence the effectiveness of chemical sanitizers, except A. Concentration, B. Contact time, C. Abrasiveness, D. Temperature. C. Abrasiveness. 38. Material safety data sheets must list all of the following, except A. Container size of the chemical, B. Information about the safe use and handling of the chemical, C. First aid information, D. A list of hazardous ingredients. A. Container size of the chemical. 59. What is the purpose of material safety data sheets? A. To inform employees of the hazards associated with the chemicals with which they work. B. To provide information on potentially dangerous machinery in the kitchen. C. To inform customers about potentially hazardous food. D. To monitor the quantity of cleaning materials used by employees. A. To inform employees of the hazards associated with the chemicals with which they work. 35. Which of the following is true when receiving canned food? A. It is important to never taste canned food that you suspect might be contaminated. B. If a can bulges at one end, press the bulge. If the other side bulges out, the can is acceptable. C. If the exterior of cans have been checked and they are acceptable, it is unnecessary to check the contents. D. Leaks in the top or side seams of cans is acceptable if there is no rust. A. It is important to never taste canned food that you suspect might be contaminated. What is the receiving temperature of fresh turkey? 41 F. Tuna salad should be held on the buffet table at a maximum temperature of A. 450 F. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 0 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. 47. When calibrating a thermometer using the ice point method, the dial should be adjusted to A. 0 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 6 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 41 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 32 degrees Fahrenheit. 3. Backflow is a food safety danger because A. Contaminated water can enter the potable water supply. B. The taste of water can be affected. C. Service sinks can overflow. D. Slip and fall accidents are more likely. A. Contaminated water can enter the potable water supply. 40. Which of the following would be considered a biological hazard? A. Dirt on a head of lettuce. B. Tomato sauce cooked in a copper pot. C. A turkey defrosted overnight on the countertop. D. A staple found in food. C. A turkey defrosted overnight on the countertop. What is the appropriate cooking temperature for tuna steak? 145 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. 18. Thermometers should be recalibrated A. Once a week, B. Once a year, C. After each sanitization, D. Anytime they have been dropped. D. Anytime they have been dropped. 4. Which of the following indicates that a delivery of fresh lobsters should be rejected? A. The tails do not curl when the lobster is picked up. B. The lobsters are packed with seaweed. C. The tails curl when the lobster is picked up. D. The shells are hard. A. The tails do not curl when the lobster is picked up. 10. Time temperature indicators are often used to A. Measure temperature. Rough a probe with a sensor at the end. B. Measure the length of time specific food should be cooked. C. Indicate whether food has been time temperature abused during food preparation. D. Indicate whether food has been time temperature abused during shipment. D. Indicate whether food has been time temperature abused during shipment. 24. Which of the following situations minimizes food contamination? A. A food handler sneezes into a tissue before handling food. B. A food handler uses metal tongs to place cooked beef onto a bun. C. A food handler uses hand lotion after washing her hands. D. A food handler drinks from a sanitary plastic cup while preparing food. B. A food handler uses metal tongs to place cooked beef onto a bun. 41. Food handlers should be restricted from handling food if they have all of the following symptoms, except A. Jaundice, B. Coughing, C. Sore throat with fever, D. Vomiting. B. Coughing. 33. Which of the following would be a feature of a piece of kitchen equipment that carries an NSF International symbol? A. Food contact surfaces that do not require sanitizing. B. Solder or caulk used to round off edges. C. Self-cleaning. D. Easy to clean. D. Easy to clean. HACCP Principle Number 2 with brief explanation. Critical Control Points, CCP. Finding the points in the process to prevent, minimize, or reduce the hazard to safe levels, usually accomplished through cooking, i.e. adequately cook hamburgers. What is the storage temperature of ice cream? 6-10*F, for frozen dairy. 20. A food service employee receives a shipment of raw ground beef and was told to store it immediately. He stores the raw ground beef on the shelf directly above some fresh strawberries. What mistake did the food service employee make that could potentially lead to a foodborne illness? A. Time and temperature abuse. B. Poor personal hygiene. C. Cross-contamination. D. All of the above. C. Cross-contamination. Which of the following items can be reserved to customers? A. Bowl of salsa. B. Basket of tortillas. C. Small dish of limes. D. Bottle of hot sauce. D. Bottle of hot sauce. Broccoli should be held on the steam table at or above A. 125 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 135 degrees Fahrenheit. C. 145 degrees Fahrenheit. D. 155 degrees Fahrenheit. B. 135 degrees Fahrenheit. 51. The greatest threat to water supplies in food service facilities is A. An air gap. B. Cross connections. C. Leaking pipes. D. Local plumbing codes. B. Cross connections. What is the storage temperature of shelled eggs? 45*F. Indicate if these situations are acceptable or not acceptable based on the rules of holding food without temperature control. Sliced melon was held overnight at room temperature. At 7 a.m. the prep chef labeled it to be thrown out at 11 a.m. Not acceptable. What is the appropriate cooking temperature for steak? 145 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 seconds. 54. Which kind of probe would you attach to a thermocouple or thermistor to measure the temperature of frying oil? A. Air probe. B. Immersion probe. C. Penetration probe. D. Surface probe. B. Immersion probe. 25. Checking the internal temperature of a pork roast may be an example of which HACCP principle? A. Verification. B. Monitoring. C. Record keeping. D. Hazard analysis. B. Monitoring. 11. If you are using the two-stage method and the food has not reached 70 degrees Fahrenheit within 2 hours, what must you do? A. Place it in the blast chiller. B. Place it in the freezer. C. Serve it immediately or discard it. D. Reheat it to 165 degrees Fahrenheit 74 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds or discard it. D. Reheat it to 165 degrees Fahrenheit 74 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds or discard it. 45. During hand washing, hands should be rubbed together for at least how long? A. 5 to 10 seconds. B. 10 to 15 seconds. C. 20 to 25 seconds. D. 25 to 30 seconds. B. 10 to 15 seconds. Dry food should be stored inches off floors and away from walls. Dry food should be stored 6 inches off floors and away from walls. 43. Which of the following diseases can be transmitted through food? A. AIDS. B. Tuberculosis. C. Hepatitis A. D. Hepatitis C. C. Hepatitis A.